Hello, welcome to the Too Sweet Movie Show. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Charlie.
And we were going to speak about some new releases. So this week we have the film Hobbs and Shaw releasing this Thursday.
Pick a door.
All right then.
No, that's my door. Pick another door.
What's wrong with you? You know what? You were right. This is your door.
What's the matter? You got a lot of bad guys behind that door?
Access granted. Access denied. Access denied. Access denied.
Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw. We've got unfinished business. Shaw's sister took something from me. A virus that could wipe out half of the population, and I want it back.
You want to tell me just what we're dealing with here?
It's my sister. Family business.
When it's the fate of the world, it becomes my business.
This whole thing sounds really dodgy. Look after your sister.
Listen, I'll handle it.
The only way we survive is working together, like a team.
Let's do this.
Buckle up, fat boy.
On my 3. 1! Woo! Hey, see the look on his face? You have no idea how long I've been waiting to do that.
Yeah, 'cause it's wartime!
The music's already started. Let's see if we can get in sync.
So you guys are being hunted by an army of mercenaries led by a genetically enhanced soldier.
Look at me. I'm Black Superman.
You're crazy.
Damn. He really is Black Superman. You need to get off the grid.
Where?
Home.
My baby's come home.
I'm sorry to bring trouble here, Mama, but I need my brothers. This family is going to war. We're gonna need cars and guns. Mama, where's all our guns?
I get rid of them.
Very noble, Mrs. Hobbs. We are in serious trouble.
That's an understatement.
Let's get old school.
Well, all right. Come on! 'Cause it's wartime!
We're going for a ride! Woo!
Tell me this is not happening.
So as he spoke about on his Instagram, which I saw. So Charlie, what are your thoughts on this film and the series, if I may ask?
Yeah, so a lot of people have got different thoughts about this one. As I was saying a bit ago about people are saying, that it's a bit of a, they're a bit annoyed how they're making the Hobbs and Shaw a Fast and Furious movie. Because they like the good old car chases and action stuff just with the, Vin Diesel, all of those, classic Fast and Furious members. But
Because Vin Diesel is not starring in Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw.
just Hobbs and Shaw.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Well, obviously we haven't seen it yet, so I think it'll be pretty good. I've looked at the trailer. Looks it looks good. We'll have to. Who's the villain in it? Do you want to talk about the villain, Daniel?
Well, I did just speak about the villain. If you're listening, I said Brixton.
Yeah, but just want to tell us a bit?
Who's Idris Elba? Who was in Luther? I told you, the BBC first series, crime series, a British series, and he was he's very popular, you know, at the moment. This actor, and he's been in other things like Thor, Ragnarok. So yeah.
Awesome. So we'll talk about some more upcoming releases. Yep. We've got. Do you want to talk about Stuba, or is it Stuba? Yeah. Do you want to have a talk about this one, Daniel?
Please be a 5-star ride.
Hey! Uber?
Yeah. Be cool, be nice. I'm Stu. How do you do?
Compton. I'm LAPD. Let's go.
Do you have a more specific address?
Compton!
Stop yelling, neighborhoods. That's not how Uber works.
Hi, ladies.
What the hell's going on?
You selected the Uber pool option.
Uber what? Ladies, official police business.
Is that even real?
Get out of the car!
Round, get around. Official police business?
Just going to see a friend. Take this.
Oh, I am not touching that.
It's a baby gun. It allows you to fire it while crying.
Is this an Uber?
Get angry!
Stop that! Why are you laughing?
Own it!
This is the least!
You shot me! You got shot in the leg. Good for you, man. You shot your first guy. You're scared me, Stu! And I love it!
How do you know my
I
dad?
got an idea! I'm gonna put this propane tank at them! You shoot it, it'll blow up their car!
You kidnapped me.
This isn't freaking Jaws!
Exactly! Just like Jaws, it's gonna work! Ready?
We killed some people.
Take a shot, Stu!
Just defeat him!
Stu, take a shot!
I got this. Hello, operator? We need help. Someone's trying to murder us. Hello, operator? We need help. Someone's trying to murder us.
So yeah, this film stars Kumail Nanjiani, who is from. Well, he's been in lots of things. He's even currently starring in the MIB remake, Men in Black remake without Will Smith, Men in Black International. So he's already got 2 releases out at the moment. That's pretty crazy. Around the same time. So yeah, it's produced by 20th Century Fox. It's about this mild-mannered Uber driver named Stu. Yeah, he's an Uber driver. His name is Stu. So he picks up a passenger who's Dave Bautista, who you know from the WWE universe. So, you know, he turns out to be a cop. He's hot on the trail of a brutal kill. He's thrust into a harrowing ordeal where he desperately tries to hold on to his wits, his life, and his 5-star rating. So it's directed by Michael Dowse. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Michael Dowse's work. No, he's a film director. He directed Goon 2011. He directed What If in 2013, which were not really action movies. So this is basically an action comedy. You know, so that's basically it. You know, you've got a little driver and you've got a huge cop, and they're teaming up together.
Yeah, so basically, the cop in this movie is he calls for an Uber and ends up going on a bit of police work or detective work, and brings the Uber driver along with him for a bit of a ride, and you know, hopefully it'll be a good movie. Yeah.
There's been mixed reviews here and there, so I don't know. I might check it out when I get the chance, but you know, it seems like it could be alright. It could be okay.
Hand it over to Daniel for a second. You'll talk about an upcoming Bollywood movie,
which is called Arjun Patiala.
Clap and action. Cut.
इसका हीरो मस्कुलर नहीं क्यूट है
अब पटियाला आ गया है, अब फालतू के मुकदमे नहीं होंगे, डायरेक्ट फैसले होंगे।
इसकी हीरोइन सुपर हॉट ही नहीं, ड्रामेटिक भी है।
अबे एक डायलॉग तो बोल।
काट काट काट।
पहला नहीं पर ओरिजिनल लड़की पटाने वाला गाना।
क्यों?
क्योंकि मैं दीवाना तेरा, मैं दीवाना तेरा, मैं दीवाना तेरा, ओ ओ ओ आशिक पुराना तेरा, मैं दीवाना तेरा, मैं दीवाना तेरा, मैं दीवाना तेरा, मैं दीवाना तेरा, ओ ओ ओ आशिक पुराना तेरा, मैं दीवाना तेरा, मैं।
Bollywood. And as you know, there will be unforgettable characters that will leave you in split. So to be honest, mate, if you ask me, this film's mixing drama with a parody comedy, and I hope it goes all well because I have huge respect for Diljit Dosanjh. I think he's an exceptional actor, and I've seen lots of his work. I've seen Sajjan Singh Rangrut, which was about the Germans who were fighting the Punjabis, fighting the Indians in the war. And so that film actually released in 2018. So that was last year I watched that, and it was actually a true story about the 6 soldiers, then the British Indian Army. So they basically work together and type of thing. So and even Surma. I watched Surma. This was a film about him. He was basically, so he's a hockey player, and he ends up in a wheelchair. So another unforgettable true story. So he's doing lots of true stories. I know I've even heard that Arjun Patiala is based on the true story. It is actually based on truth, which is quite interesting. And I've been looking forward to this film for a long time. It's been in production for about, let's say, a year, maybe 2 years or something. But yeah, it's But at the box office, it hasn't been doing as well as we've probably hoped. It struggled for 5 rupees, 5 crore. Which I heard about in the news. Surrounding, Diljit, he's a massive star. I'm surprised not as many people are checking out this film. He's exceptional. And Kriti Sanon, I think she has a huge following in Bollywood, and she's had lots of great films, which surround her filmography. And so I reckon it's gonna go well, people. I reckon it's gonna go well. So did you want to speak about the Lion King?
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about Lion King now, the new Lion King.
My time here, and will rise with you as the new king.
So me and you, Daniel, we saw this last night. So it's been about 25 years. Really, first one came out in 1994. So about almost 25 years ago this month.
Wow, that's pretty extraordinary.
So yeah, the new Lion King came out. A lot more So this one was animated, so obviously still animated, but a lot more real.
But it wasn't more like cartoonish animation. They changed it to some live action type thing, which is what Disney wanted to do basically. They wanted to change the tradition a bit, and if you know, recently I've been seeing lots of films for Aladdin, for example, which came out earlier this year. But I'm saying that was a cartoon at first. Then they changed it into a live action style. Yeah. So lots of films are changing in that type of thing, if you know what I mean.
So the good thing though, a lot of people saying that in a lot of the movies they do remakes of, they just stuff them up and ruin it.
It happens a lot of the time.
Does. So this one they've kept basically like completely the exact same scene for scene, word for word, just giving it a freshen up and modernize it up a bit, new singers to sing all the songs, it's still they sound just as good. The characters, the voices, what do you reckon of all the voice who played the voices? Do you think they did a pretty good job with that?
Yeah, I reckon Donald Glover as Simba, he was pretty good. It wasn't wrong with him. Nala was played by Beyonce Knowles Carter. She did a decent job, and even in the singing department, her songs were quite nice. Seth Rogen as Pumbaa, he added a quirky style of his comedy, I think, which made it a bit crude, if you ask me. He sort of made it a bit, not too crude, but he just put his style into it. And Chiwetel Ejiofor, I know that British actor, he played the villain of Scar. And Billy Eichner as Timon, I'm not familiar with him, but I know John Oliver, he played Zazu, and Keegan-Michael Kay, he's quite well known. So basically the story is about Simba. So the Donald Glover, he idolizes his father, Mufasa, and he takes to heart his own royal destiny on the plains of Africa. So it's shot in Africa, this film. But, not everyone in the kingdom celebrates the new cub's arrival. Scar, Mufasa's his brother and former heir to the throne. They basically have plans of their own. And they battle, and they're ravaged with betrayal as well, tragedy and drama, and ultimately resulting in Simba's exile. Now with help from a curious pal of newfound friends, Simba must figure out how to grow up and take back what is rightfully his. Now, this film, I know it's been getting mixed reviews, and I got to admit, I prefer the original from the 90s. It's just my opinion. Now, last week I actually saw the original, and I thought it was much better. You can't beat the original. Exactly. You can't beat the original, and that's what I always say most of the time. But the reason that this film didn't success as much as I hoped is because a lot of it was just the same. I know what they wanted. I know that was their goal. To just repeat the same thing which happened in the previous film. But that's what made it, go wrong for me in kind of way. Because I just rewatched the original, right? It was word for word the same, as you just pointed out. Which made me be a bit bored. But the thing which made it better for me was obviously the soundtrack, which I liked. It was the visuals, it was the effects, and all these, like the characters. They looked amazing on the screen. They looked really well done.
Yeah, the quality of the animals and the shots of the jungle and the bush everywhere out there was just like, there were some scenes, Daniel, where you'd think like that they had legitimately just gone out there and filmed it all and filmed animals. It was just yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was. But the thing is, with the movie, I don't think they tried to make it a movie where everyone's gonna go right. This is our new. This Lion King now is the favorite one. They just wanted a bit of a freshen up, so people, as I said before, it's like 25 something years old. Just freshen up, not expecting everyone to go, wow, this is like my new favorite, Lion King movie. It's just to, as I said, it's the exact same script and everything. So, yeah. So, what do you got there, audience? Yeah, okay. Do you want to talk about that, Daniel? About the
I can agree with Rotten Tomatoes critics' conscience in a way, because it has pride in it. Definitely, as I mentioned, the visual achievements have been done well, but it's just it does in a way. I agree with their conscience, which says it lacks the energy and the heart that made the original so beloved, though for some fans that may just be enough. So fans obviously have huge respect for the original Lion King. If they really love that, but I can agree in a way that it just didn't do it for me. It's some of that oomph was lacking. Some of that I can't explain type thing, but it was definitely missing something.
Also, you just saw the original the week before, and when a movie's the exact same, just freshened up, you're not going to be like, wow, this is amazing. Obviously, all the special effects and all that stuff, it was crazy. Like, that waterfall in that scene when they're all walking across the stumps in the tree, that was good. But yeah, I understand if you've just seen it. But I think we'll talk about some. Daniel, do you want to talk about some actor announcements? Movie company announcements. Any celebrity gossip, any movie companies that have announced big things. Then we'll talk about Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man after Far From Home. All right, Daniel?
We're going into Hollywood or Bollywood?
We'll start off with some Hollywood. You got any Hollywood news? Any upcoming big movies? Or no, there's a, new James Bond movie. All of those.
Yeah. So, okay. Let's start with the new James Bond film, which is great. Now, as you know, online I've been seeing photos, and even Prince Charles, was it? He visited the set of James Bond with Daniel Craig. Now, and then someone was also injured during it. So the new film, yeah.
So it was meant to new James Bond 25 is what the name will be called. Is it's meant to be released, I think, October, November, December this year. But it's been pushed back to about around this time or start of the year 2020, so next year.
Yeah, around February.
Yeah, February 2020, there we go. Because had a few setbacks. Daniel Craig injured, or I think he might have sprained his ankle on a stunt that he was doing. Yep. Then the villain, they've had a hard time getting those two. There's only actually a few scenes where those two have to be there been reading to actually film together. Yes. And they've both been, away. One of them said they're there, and then one of them says, they're away doing, got other filming commitments. So that's pushed it back a while. Then I think about a month ago now, there was actually an explosion at one of their sets. And their entire set was, exploded. So yeah, that exploded and set it back probably another few weeks, good month. So now I think they're finally starting to get in the hang of filming and finishing it up before they start doing all the, editing and getting it all ready for cinemas, hopefully start of next year. Daniel, do you want to...
Even Daniel Craig, he announced that this is going to be his final James Bond film. So...
That's what he said about his last two films, though. So, we'll see.
True, but Rami Malek was saying that he's in this one, and even they were asking him, could he be James Bond? It's a bit hard, but even
I think
even some other names have been surrounding the new Bond.
I think him being the villain in this one I don't think they would put him. It would be a bit weird to see, you know, the villain of a movie in the next as the next 007 in the next movie. So I think that's kind of taken out of the spot. You know?
Exactly, but even they had some suggestions of who to replace Daniel Craig if he officially leaves James Bond, because he's been doing this since Casino Royale in 2007. So even Henry Cavill, he played Superman in Man of Steel, he could be he could be one of the suggestions of the new Bond. I think he'd do a decent job. I think, as I saw one of his other spy films, I think in 2015 or was it 2016, the film The Man from U.N.C.L.E. So I think he definitely. You reckon? You reckon he?
Yeah, I don't know.
He could perfect James Bond's suaveness.
I don't know. I don't. Daniel Craig. He's probably my favorite James Bond. Of course.
We all know you love Daniel.
Yeah. He's what has he got? He started with Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, recent one Spectre, and now Spectre. So now obviously Bond 25. So it'd be good to see him do another one. But if not, some people saying that will be the last Bond movie. But after I saw Skyfall, years ago, they all said 100% that was the last ever James Bond movie. And then 2 months later, they said, right, no, it's not going to be it. Then they said Spectre. I heard people saying, James Bond, he's not going to be it was almost guaranteed he wasn't going to be the James Bond movie, the 007, and they were having trouble finding someone, and then he suddenly came back and said, I'll do it. And now we're on to Bond 25, so, yeah, of course, so... So, yeah.
Well, why don't we will speak about another upcoming film. Now, I saw the trailer the other day. I think it popped up on my Insta feed or whatever. Gemini Man.
Tell me something. Why is it so hard for you to kill this man?
He knew every move of mine before I made it. I'd have him right there. Take the shot.
I wanna be forever young.
And he'd be gone, like a ghost.
Do you really wanna live forever?
Who is he?
I think I know why he's as good as you. He is you.
25 years ago, they made you from me. They chose me because there's never been anybody like me. We have to end this right now. You have all of his gifts without his pain. You made a person out of another person. Then you sent me to kill him. You made a choice to do this to me.
This thing that you're struggling with, it's fear. Embrace it and then overcome it.
Of all the people in the world to come after me, why would he send you?
So this series, I've been watching it for its I saw season 1, and I also saw I've been watching season 2 at the moment. So this is an American comedy series which combines comedy into action, which I think's really done well. And this series, it's on Channel 9, and it's well in America it's on Fox Network. So this is a reboot of the hit movie franchise Lethal Weapons. Which have you seen the first 4 classic films
Yeah.
Gibson
Yeah.
and Danny
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's basically a reboot. So they've made it into like a 40 to 45 minute series, and it's I really like it. I think it's one of my favorite action series at the moment, and it's just rebooting movie into TV, the same name, and it's set in modern day Los Angeles. And as you know, if you're familiar with the show, it's the same name. It's just they've changed the actor. So you've got Detective Roger Murtaugh, and he works as a crime ridden. He's a police officer, and some of Murtaugh's colleagues at the LAPD include Detective Bailey, who's Captain Brooks Avery, and a pathologist named Scorsese. So Murtaugh is married to Trish, and Trish is a father of 3 children, and she finds herself working with Detective Wesley Cole, a former international CIA operative who's been everywhere and seen everything. Cole must adjust to life on the West Coast while navigating his partnership with Murtaugh. Now, this series has actually changed a bit. There's been some like there's been some surrounding it. So this series first started with Clayne Crawford, who played Martin Riggs, who's the original character. He played Mel Gibson was Riggs. Now it's Clayne Crawford, but apparently he punched someone on set, so they had to fire him. Now I haven't seen the one with the new characters because Channel 9 haven't started showing this yet. They'll probably show it after, but it'll be interesting to see how it goes when they replace these 2 iconic characters. They keep him, but they change him to him, which is just, I don't know how it's going to turn out because I've loved the first 2 series with him. Exactly. But I do really think this series is quite funny, and it's action packed, and it's entertaining. Yeah.
So, talk about one more TV show, then we'll talk about the new Spider-Man and Toy Story. So, we'll talk about. I mean, Daniel, you probably know a bit more about this. New Amsterdam. Again, it's NBC. So Dr. Max Goodwin, and he's got a team of doctors. Blah blah blah. So I'll let Daniel talk about that. But so the main character, Ryan, he also plays character named Tom Keane in The Blacklist. He's in the show married to Elizabeth, who I was just talking about. So Daniel, you've watched probably more of this than I have. So a couple of your one of your Indian or Bollywood actors in this, so you can talk a bit about him. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So this series started this year, and I think it was following Married at First Sight. Now this series, Dr. Max Goodwin, he's a brilliant, charming, Ryan Eagle, the actor, but Max. So he basically becomes the new medical director at America's oldest public hospital, New Amsterdam. But while he's set on tearing down the bureaucracy to provide exceptional care, doctors and staff are not so sure that they've heard this before. No one else has delivered on those promises. But also he has a bit of a thing which sort of happens to him. He's battling cancer, and it's not so good. And so he's basically running this hospital while he knows he's been diagnosed with cancer.
It's a bit of the same. Just quickly, there's Daniel show Good Doctor. The main neurosurgeon in that, he finds out halfway through the show that he has a brain tumor. So kind of the start of these shows, a bit of the same storyline, but obviously a lot different as well. Yeah.
Well, if you've watched any of these medical dramas along the past few years, lots of them follow the same type of pattern. You know, New Amsterdam, Code Black, Grey's Anatomy, even The Resident. Lots of them. They follow the same thing. Now, the other characters, Dr. Helen Sharp, played by Freema Eggman, Janet Montgomery, playing Dr. Laura Bloom, Dr. Iggy Frome, played by Tyler Labine, Jocko Sims, playing Dr. Floyd Reynolds, and Anupam Kher, playing Dr. Vijay Kapoor, who I do really like, a Bollywood actor. And it was his first American series, which he took part in, because he actually said that going into this, he was starting a new career. No, like after doing 100+ films across his filmography, he's been making hundreds of Bollywood films, a couple of Hollywood films. But this was his first American series. And he said that he was going into an American series was the start of his new career, because it's different to him. The Bollywood film industry and the Hollywood film industry and the television industry are three different things. And it was his first time going into American, and he even followed up with that. He went on to ABC, and he was in Mrs. Wilson, drama for the BBC on ABC. So yeah, he really is. He's going places, you know. He's just changing it up, type thing.
So we'll start maybe talk about Spider-Man now.
The Spider-Man Far From Home trailer is about to play, but if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet, stop watching because there's some serious spoilers about to come up. But if you have seen Avengers Endgame, enjoy the trailer.
Everywhere I go, I see his face. I just really miss him.
Yeah, I miss him too.
I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be here after he was gone.
You gonna be the next Iron Man now?
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your jobs.
What? I'm kidding. Look, keep up the good work because I am going on vacation.
Heads up, Nick Fury's calling you.
I don't really want to talk to Nick
Answer
Fury.
the phone.
Why?
Because if you don't talk to him, then I have to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. You sent Nick Fury to voicemail?
I gotta go.
You do not ghost Nick Fury.
What up, dorks? What's up? We're just talking about the trip.
I'm here in St. Marco Polo's.
Oh, I think MJ really likes me.
That reminds me when I first fell in love.
You're a very difficult person to contact, Spider-Man. This is Mr. Beck.
We could have used someone like you on my world.
Your world?
Beck is from Earth, just not ours. The snap tore a hole in our dimension.
You're saying there's a multiverse?
We have a job to do, and you're coming with us.
There's gotta be someone else you can use. What about Thor?
Off-world.
Captain Marvel?
Unavailable.
But I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
What do you want, Peter?
I want to go back on my trip with the girl who I really like and tell her how I feel. MJ, I
am Spider-Man.
No, of course I'm not.
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
You're right, you may not be ready, but this is my responsibility. Saving the world requires sacrifice. Sometimes people die.
Oh my God. I just always feel like I'm putting my friends in danger. The world needs the next Iron Man.
You're going to step up or not?
I gotta get you guys out of here. Get on the jet. Who are you? I work with Spider-Man.
You work for Spider-Man?
I work with Spider-Man, not for Spider-Man. New plan.
Spider-Man: Far From Home, with got Tom Holland, Samuel L. Jackson, and a lot of the same cast from Homecoming. So, Daniel, you want to talk about this? We've both seen this, so talk about it a bit each. You want to talk about the storyline and the villain and kind of what happens?
Of course. So, as you all know, it follows the events of Avengers Endgame, which I bet lots of people saw on this podcast. It's crossed 1 billion at the box office, even smashed Avatar, But in this one, Spider-Man, he must set up to take on new threats in a world that's changed forever. So this goes across, as it starts off in New York, and it goes through Venice, and it goes through Prague, and so many different locations. And the film, you got Tom Holland playing the character of Spider-Man, obviously. Yeah, Spider-Man, which is Peter Parker is his name. And you've also got Samuel Jackson playing Nick Fury, Jake Gyllenhaal playing Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, which I did have a problem with, if you ask me. It's just, when you started watching the film, you just knew the minute you saw him, he is the villain. I'm like, hang on, what's going on here? Because the film starts off and there's no villain for a while. And then, he suddenly becomes the villain. I'm like, yeah, I knew it all the time. It's just so predictable. Which made this film not as good, if you ask me. Like, the film was good. It had its moments. It was action-packed. It had good comedy. And even the side, which I really liked, was the teen side of it. The side where involved all the teen characters instead of all the action-packed villain side of it. But it had some great things, like going into different worlds, which is quite interesting. Yeah.
Daniel, you with the villain. So is it you didn't like him playing the villain, or you don't like the actual just villain itself, or what didn't you like really about it?
Basically, I don't have many problems with Jake Gyllenhaal. I think other films he's done quite well. But this film, the villain is just a wreck. It's a mess. No. It's just Mysterio. He's not Mysterio who you want him to be as such. He's just some messy Mysterio, and he's just all over the place. I didn't really like that side of it, if you ask me. But that's just the only problem with it, basically. Because Tom Holland, he's great in it. He's just funny and everything. I do really like the actor. But if you ask me, Spider-Man Homecoming was much better. I did really like that one, as you said too.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. I reckon that was probably my favorite Spider-Man. This one, Far From Home, was good, but I think I prefer Homecoming. I think so. You can't really beat that. That was a good. Well, you can, but that was a good movie.
You can't beat the first film in the new franchise type thing. It's a bit hard, if you ask me. Yeah, so did you want to...
I think last topic for the day, before we wrap it up, is we'll talk about new Toy Story 4.
Everyone, Bonnie made a friend in class.
Oh, she's already making friends.
No, she literally made a new friend. I want you to meet Forky.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Ah! He's a spork.
Yes, yeah, I know. Forky is the most important toy to Bonnie right now. We all have to make sure nothing happens to him.
Woody, we have a situation.
I am not a toy. I was made for soup, salad, maybe chili, and then the trash.
Buzz, we've got to get Forky.
Affirmative.
Why am I alive? You're Bonnie's toy. You are going to help create happy memories that will last for the rest of her life.
Huh? What?
Oh, yeah. Bo? Forky, come on. Bo?
Hi there. My name is Gabby Gabby.
We can't stay.
Yes, you can. Boys. Woody, behind you!
Bo! What are you doing here?
No time to explain. Come with me.
We need to get back to our kid.
Aw, Sheriff Woody, always coming to the rescue.
Bonnie needs Forky.
Woody, who needs a kid's room when you can have all of this?
Wow. Woody, aren't we going to Bonnie?
We have to find them! What do we do, Buzz?
What would Woody do?
Jump out of a moving vehicle?
Let's go!
Yeah, you gotta go, you gotta go.
If you should ever leave me.
You know, you've handled this lost toy life better than I could.
Open your eyes, Woody. There's plenty of kids out there. Sometimes change can be good.
You can't teach this old toy new tricks.
You'd be surprised.
Bonnie? We're going home, Forky.
God only knows.
Bonnie, I'm coming!
On my way, Woody! To infinity and beyond!
Don't let Woody leave. Kids lose their toys every day.
I was made to help a child. I don't remember it being this hard.
Woody, somebody's whispering in your ear. Everything's gonna be okay.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
So, this has come out a few years, well, actually a while since the last Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3 came out in 2012, so it's been
8, 9 years, whatever. 7, 8, 9 years. So same, got Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Annie Potts, all the majority of the same casters.
Yeah, the gang's been rounded up. Woody, Buzz Lightyear, Bo Peep, and even Forky, the new character, Tony Hale, Keegan Michael Kay playing Ducky.
Interesting character, that one. Forky. Forky, yeah. So they've changed the classic Toy Story up a bit. They still got obviously they've got their owner, and this storyline's a bit different. So they've got their new owner. She's starting off at kindergarten, and tries to she's not really fitting in very well. Tries to make some new friends, so she gets some craft stuff and then makes what becomes new toy Forky out of trash. If you watch the movie, he's a bit obsessed with trash, and but yeah, Daniel, do you want to talk about what happens after that? What the kind of storyline is?
So, yeah, it's certainly she makes that new toy, and then they go on an adventure. It involves like a carnival park, and it's set in this toy. Yeah, I know. It's set in an old toy shop, and that's when everything goes wrong. If you ask me, like with the Bonnie was no, the Gabby, sorry. Bonnie's the one who makes the character, but Gabby's the messed up character. She's just like, I don't know, I don't really. She was a villain, and then she's just like a bad villain, if you ask me. It's all over the place a bit.
Yeah, so they Forky jumps out of their caravan or their RVs, they call it over there, when they're going on a holiday before they start school again, and Forky doesn't feel like he belongs with them, feels like he wants to go back to the trash, and so they Woody goes out and tries to obviously help him because he wants to look after their kid, their owner, and so they find their way back to where they've parked their car at a carnival, and while they're there, actually, they find Bo Peep and Annie Potts.
Which is not a new character.
No. Yeah, she played in the previous one. Yeah,
But she wasn't in Toy Story.
yeah, she was in Toy Story 3. So yeah. So she ends up Bo Peep and end up being at this antique store where they find her out in the front window or in the side of the store. So they end up, trying to help her and get out of there when this this other character tries to take them. And they try to keep them there because she has lost her voice box that with her batteries at the back of her, and Woody has one, and so she tries to kind of kidnap them and take it. Um, and yeah, she's a bit messed up and tries to take. Yeah, Forky kind of takes Forky as a friend, and as a best friend, and tries to go around with him. And she's got some other bad villains toys, and they're trying to keep them away. And then they end up trying to find their owner, and they try to escape and do a lot of other things. And Daniel, do you want to talk a bit about after that? What happens? How it ends and all the antique store and all that stuff. No, we don't. That's right. True. Yeah, we don't want to spoil it, but if you don't want to spoil it, then skip a bit. But yeah. So they just try basically go find them, go on a hunt to track them down, and I think
Yeah, well, I mean, it certainly goes down a different direction than what Toy Story 3 did. In my opinion, Toy Story 3 was a bit better. I mean, Toy Story 4, I didn't like it was good. If you ask me, it was a good film. Like it had its moments where it was great. But it certainly goes down a different adventure. Like it's a bit unpredictable. We didn't think that would happen, and even Duke Kaboom is a funny character we should mention. He doesn't have much screen time, does he? 5-10 minutes, a little.
funny scenes in it. He's a stuntman, so his toy is a stuntman. A few years before, if he sees a ad, with him on it, and he can't actually finds out that he can't actually do all these stunts. It is a bit sad, but they all try to hype him up at the end, and ends up doing some, living his dream of becoming a stuntman. And yeah, Daniel.
Yeah, even these two toys are mentioned. Keegan Michael Kay and Jordan Peele's characters. Do you remember those two characters? They were. Remember at the carnival, they're like, they. Yeah. Yeah, and they didn't want to stay there. They've been there for like so long, so they joined on the adventure with him. And remember those three like sheep things? Yeah, Bo Peep's sheep were quite funny, I guess. And the animation certainly changed since. It's changed a lot because since Toy Story, the first one, which is the first computer animated film, the first computer animated Disney film, I think, or any computer animated film. But the look of Woody's just changed so much since the original. It really has, for the better, if you ask me. But I guess his iconic look from the first one and the second one, you can't really beat that too. It's just a classic. It certainly is, but you can't beat Tom Hanks and Tim Allen. They're just iconic actors, and they played it so well. Well, it's just a family adventure. It's good for the whole family.
Yeah, so I think we'll wrap up now. Don't have anything else to say. No, yeah. So we'll wrap it up. We'll be next week. Probably be back with Leigh. We'll be back with Leigh next week. So either be back with two sweet movie reviews, either with Leigh and Daniel, or all three of us do another one. Talk. Leigh can do some, maybe a bit of WWE news. Haven't heard any of that for a while, or some new movies that Leigh's talking about. I don't know. So we'll see you next week. Daniel, you want to finish it up?
We'll certainly see you next week for 2 sweet movie reviews, I think. And you know, I might be talking about Saho next week. The no, I can speak about it. But the teaser came out a while ago. Two new Bollywood movies. There was even the film War, which people are really excited for. So 2 massive Bollywood teasers. You can't get better than that, I reckon. And I'm looking forward to both of them. And there's another film too, Mission Mangal, which is a space. It's about it's about space, and it's Akshay Kumar, the actor, and it's all about an adventure. They go to the moon. I think it'll be quite interesting. So yeah, we'll certainly see you next week for 2 sweet movie reviews.
Sidhu Moosewala, Bohemia, brown boys in the building. Shout out Big Bird. You know what time it is?
I'm a brown boy. Ohi de shriula te ohi same rula hai. Ohi asubah nahi ho change kita fame ne. Counting ach ready but they case kuch jadi but they rosing.